Sometimes the biggest stories are hidden in the smallest places. Today, we're going to go on a little digital treasure hunt to unravel a mystery that starts with, believe it or not, just a single cryptic line of text from a library's archive. So let's just dive right in. Take a look at this. NLA.OGBJ023094349. I mean, what is that? It looks kind of like a product code, maybe an error message. But what if I told you this isn't just some random text? It's a breadcrumb. It's a digital key that unlocks a real, tangible piece of history. So what story could it possibly tell us? Okay, so first things first. Our mission is to connect this digital identifier back to something in the real world. Let's follow this clue and see exactly where it takes us. And bam, here's our first big reveal. That weird code, it points to an Atlas of India. Instantly, that abstract string of numbers and letters becomes something real, something you can actually picture. But the question is, when is it from? And that brings us to the next piece of the puzzle, time. This atlas was published way back in 1894. We're talking over 130 years ago. So we're not just looking at a book anymore, we're looking at a time capsule. Now, what's really cool is how the library officially describes it. It's not just an Atlas of India. No. It's a piece of cartographic material that has 16 maps and a complete index. This very formal, official description is actually the first step in giving this old book a brand new life online. Which brings up a pretty big question, right? How does a book from the 1800s even exist in our 21st century digital world? Well, this leads us to the super fascinating process of how this atlas was reborn as what you might call a digital twin. Okay, so the key idea to wrap your head around is this thing called a digital object. Think of it like a unique digital soul for a physical item. Once something is scanned and uploaded, it gets its own permanent ID. That's the long string of characters we started with, so it can never, ever get lost in the huge digital universe of the internet. But what's really wild is just how detailed this whole process gets. It's not just the book as a whole that gets an ID. Every single page gets its own unique digital address. So here's the one for page 1. Then you can jump ahead to page 25, and yep, you'll see another unique code. And there's another one way over on page 100. You see the pattern here? It's this super meticulous system, and it creates a perfect one-to-one digital replica of the original book. So here's a good way to think about it. That main code we started with, that's the address for the whole apartment building. But every single page gets its own unique apartment number. It's a brilliant system, really. It lets archives build a complete, totally navigable digital index so that anyone, anywhere in the world, can explore this historical document just like they were flipping through the actual pages. Okay, so we have this amazing digital resource, but that brings up a huge question. Why can't we just look at it for free? Let's switch gears and get into the legal side of things to see how this map was unlocked for all of us. I mean, really, this is the big one, isn't it? In a world where it feels like so much content is locked behind paywalls or protected by really strict copyright, how is a 130-year-old document completely open for anybody to use? Well, this timeline from the library's own records basically lays it all out for us. So the atlas gets published in 1894. The creator passes away in 1900. Now, here is the magic number, 1955. Because the creator's death happened before that key date, the copyright on their work eventually just expired. And that's exactly why today the record clearly says it is out of copyright. And what that means is that the atlas is now in what we call the public domain. And that's a huge deal. It basically means the work belongs to, well, everyone. It's a shared cultural and historical resource that any of us can use or study or even build upon without ever having to ask for permission or pay a fee. It's like a gift from the past to all of us in the future. All right, so we've got the tech side down, we've got the legal stuff sorted. But our journey here isn't quite over. With this incredible, easy access comes a new kind of responsibility for us as digital explorers. And this part right here is so important. The library itself puts this powerful reminder in its records. Just because something is technically and legally available, it doesn't mean we can use it without thinking. We're asked to engage with this material respectfully, especially when you consider the cultural context. This really just puts a bow on the whole thing. Think about it. Back in the day, if you wanted to see this atlas, you had to be in the right library at the right time and handle it with physical care, maybe even wear gloves. But now, access is instant, it's global, so our responsibility is shifted. It's less about protecting the physical paper and more about protecting the cultural and historical integrity of what's on it. The context isn't just around us in the library anymore. It's something we have to actively go out and respect. So look how far we've come. We started with this totally cryptic line of text, and it led us to a 130-year-old atlas. We've explored the technology, the law, and even the ethics that bring it right to our screens. It just goes to show you there are countless histories preserved in these digital objects, just waiting for us to rediscover them. Which leaves us with one final thought. What other stories are hiding out there, in plain sight, just waiting for a curious eye to unlock them?